Why do we homeschool? That's a very loaded question and one that I haven't answered yet. So stay tuned to find out. Hey guys, I'm Mahaley with Crazy Chapel Chaos. I have 4 wild kiddos that I get to spend every day with. Callie, who is 6, Caden, who is 5, Everly, who is 3. She'll be 4 by the time this video comes out, or pretty close to it. And then this little one, her name is Emma, and she is 15 months old. And people always ask, why did you choose to homeschool? You don't have to homeschool. You don't have to be with your kids all the time. But it's what I always wanted to do. So why do we homeschool? Many, many years ago, when my oldest daughter was still this size, my husband and I immediately started talking about homeschool. But of course then, in society, it wasn't okay. Heck, sometimes people make you feel like it still isn't. But I ended up getting talked out of it. So I put her into a public Head Start program when she was 3, almost 4. And she started out going to public school. My son, on the other hand, they're only 13 months apart. He had some diagnoses that made me realize that public school would not be the option for him. We struggle with sensory processing disorder, as well as he did have fairly severe separation anxiety and some hearing issues that he still struggles with today. And it was because of those diagnoses that I really started researching homeschool. I would spend hours upon hours researching curriculum, YouTube videos of other moms and their homeschool journeys, trying to figure out if this was something that I could do. I quickly realized that you don't have to be a professional teacher to be able to teach your kids. And ultimately, I had already made the decision to homeschool my younger kids. At the time, this one wasn't even a thought. So I had made the decision to start homeschooling my younger kids. And so we did. My oldest continued her Head Start program, but around March of 2020 is when the shutdown happened in our state. We took some time off from homeschool as well as public school because everything was closed. And we did send her back briefly in 2021, or the fall of 2020, I should say. But then come November, when more things in this world started happening, we chose to pull them out permanently. And that was a mix of health diagnoses, because we found out that my oldest has ADHD. My son, as I mentioned, has sensory processing as well as some hearing issues. So we just chose that it was best for our family to homeschool. And it was through this hardships of the pandemic and the world situations in general that I realized that I could homeschool my kids. I did not need all these things. I did not need a fancy degree. I could do it. And they wouldn't get lost in the cracks because of their ADHD or their sensory processing disorder, because they would be my own, like the only kids that I was teaching. I wouldn't have 20 plus kids that I was teaching, and I didn't want my kids to fall through the cracks. So we homeschool. And that's where we are today. And I foresee us homeschooling for as far as I can see. Now, we never know what life will bring, but I'm hoping to be in this for the long haul, because I got a long way to go. And I'm hoping to continue to learn and better myself, and constantly remind myself as well as other moms that you don't have to be a professional and you can do this. The beauty of homeschooling is you can make it to fit your schedule and your needs. It doesn't have to be extravagant and fancy and all the bells and whistles, and it can just be. It can just be what you need it to be to fit into your lives, because we all have different lives that are crazy. So that's a quick video, a short video on why we homeschool. And I would love to hear why you homeschool in the comments below. So make sure you give me a thumbs up, hit that red subscribe button, leave me a comment, because I would love to talk about this more in depth with all of you guys in the comments below. Bye, guys.